With the alarming reduction in returns from traditional livestock, many farmers have been looking for profitable alternatives. Once we used to live off the sheep's back. Now we need an animal with the market strength to carry us into the 21st century. For many, that safer ride into the future will be on a goat's back, as on this animal grows the fibre for our future. For centuries now, there's been two distinct types of goat fibre. From the Angora, we get mohair, and from this fellow, the Cashmere, we get the fibre of the same name. They're two very different fibres, but both have an important place, both on the world market and here in New Zealand, by providing more secure incomes for farmers. This, the Angora, was the first goat fibre producer to gain popularity here. Now well established, it's expanding all the time, especially in drier areas where the breed's not at risk from foot problems. Unlike the Angora, the Cashmere is not a fixed breed, rather a feral or crossbred animal whose breeding is based solely on the quality and fineness of the fibre it produces. Thanks to their more hardy, feral background, Cashmere can be run on a very wide range of country, including the wetter hills and downlands of both islands. With a low labour requirement, the Cashmere is an easy care animal with no major health problems. From the South Island high country to these northern hills, they'll thrive. To the hill country farmer, the Cashmere offers hope, not doom and gloom. And stepping up to Cashmere won't cost you more than the price of the animals themselves, as you already have all the yards, fences and sheds you'll need from your sheep operations. On top of this, it's been well proved that any stock purchase costs are well covered by savings in weed control. Plants that sheep and cattle regard as unpalatable are an important part of a goat's diet. And because they browse rather than graze, goats improve pasture management when run with sheep or cattle. With no weed competition, the right plants produce great feed for quality beef and Cashmere. Cashmere is a mixture of two fibre types. There's the unusable and coarse outer guard fibres which, on the animal, protect the very valuable and fine, downy undercoat, which is rather like cotton wool. This very fine material has no crimp, a grease content of 2% or less, and runs between 8 to 24 microns, though the premium fibre is in the up to 17 micron range. Cashmere can be one of several colours, but it's the white fibre that brings the best returns of up to $140 a kilogram. The outer guard hairs are removed in a dehearing process, and the fine material used for garments at the top and high-priced end of the apparel market. There's cashmere scarves, sweaters like these that are made from all New Zealand cashmere, jackets and even full-length cashmere coats that cost over $3,000, but they're in demand from those who can afford them. Mohair and cashmere are two very different fibres. Mohair is much longer, a little coarser and therefore bulkier. This 3 kilogram bag of mohair represents 1 year's production from a purebred Angora. This much smaller bag holds 500 grams of cashmere, but it's also from 1 year's growth. Yet both are worth about the same amount, $50 to $60. This is Cashgora, a new fibre which came on the market as a result of crossbreeding Angoras with ferals. All three fibres are classed and marketed from here, the Mohair and Cashmere Warehouse. A cooperative, it was established because growers wanted both marketing strength and quality control. Already, they've gained an international reputation for consistent quality, which will enable us to continue to take advantage of the world goat fibre shortage. At present, New Zealand produces 13 tonnes of cashmere. World production is 8,000 tonnes a year. 2,000 tonnes less than the market's demand of at least 10,000 tonnes. That extra 2,000 could come from this end of the world. New Zealand and Australia are the most recent countries to establish cashmere industries, and for the first time the fibre will be produced in a controlled commercial farming situation, rather than the more peasant-orientated approach of China, Iran and Mongolia, who grow 80% of the world's cashmere. In 1985, New Zealand had 150,000 cashmere goats. It's predicted that we'll have a fourfold increase by 1990 with 600,000 animals. By 1995, the national herd will be even 7 times that, with 4 million cashmere. Confirming the industry's potential here, the world's first public listed company concerned solely with goat farming was launched in New Zealand in February '86, Cashmere Pacific Limited. The company's directors combine corporate, financial, farm and livestock management skills and experience in a very positive move that'll do a lot to promote and hasten the establishment of a prosperous local cashmere industry. One of the directors, Ray Chi, has been farming 4,000 cashmere goats on his own account for over 3 years now, so he's in a good position to comment on the benefits Cashmere Pacific will bring to the industry as a whole.
Benefits, I think, are that we're able to take outside investment money and utilise it, because the rural sector presently, as most people are fully aware, is desperately short of outside monies to enable it to diversify and take the opportunities that do exist through this diversification.
How necessary is it then to get outside investment to develop the cashmere industry here?
I think it's very important because we're still very much in our infancy, and by having this outside capital we are able to do things which will put us so much further ahead at a much quicker pace than what normally would be possible, and I think that is very important with the cashmere industry.
Cashmere Pacific have a 21-year lease on Long Gully, a property near Wellington, where they're running 6,000 feral does for crossing with cashmere bucks. But over there stands the company's biggest step towards improving the quality of the New Zealand cashmere clip. Arguably the finest stud in the world, the Cashmere Goat Company stud, known as Cashco, from Victoria, Australia. Buying into the Cashco stud has taken Cashmere Pacific a long way towards meeting one of the main aims it listed in its pre-launch prospectus: to establish an elite nucleus herd of top-quality cashmere producing goats. Having done this, this now leads to achieving another objective by becoming a major supplier of stock for the New Zealand farming industry. Formed in 1979 by selecting animals from 20,000 ferals throughout Australia, the Cashco stud has been recorded since 1981. In 1985, Cashco fleeces won 6 of the 8 first prizes in the Australian Cashmere Fleece competition. And recently, a Cashco buck fetched the world record price of $37,500 at a New Zealand sale. The 200 does and 91 bucks running here have put Cashmere Pacific some years ahead of other New Zealand breeders. On top of that, there's their latest move, embryo transplants, that'll put them even further ahead. In June '86, a team of 20 from GeneStock New Zealand Limited carried out nearly 1,800 transplant operations at the rate of 120 a day, which makes this the largest program of its kind to be undertaken in New Zealand and quite possibly the world. The program began when 150 Cashco does were put on a course of hormone injections to increase the production of ova, then mated to top Cashco bucks. The fertile embryos were then transplanted into recipient ferals. In another phase of their breeding operation, selected does on their Wellington property will be artificially mated with semen from these Cashco bucks. But as Director Ray Chi points out, breeding is just one part of Cashmere Pacific's planned operations.
We will hopefully have for next year a lot of semen available for the AI program, which should be up and running commercially, and fibre testing onshore, which is a vital part of Cashmere, and also in a couple of years' time the dehairing of the fibre, which once again is equally important.
For a lot of farmers at the moment, they may be interested in getting involved in cashmere production, but they don't have the capital investment. Does this mean they can't get involved?
No, I don't believe so. I think that the ordinary farmer today has the opportunity of getting hold of a small number of ferrules, and with the superior bucks that we have, or semen, which they should be able to have, it enables them to get into the job and make some very rapid progress in a short period of time, and I think that is very important.
How excited are you with the prospects of the cashmere industry here in New Zealand?
I think cashmere has tremendous potential. It has a soundness about it which is very unique, and we believe that cashmere is going to be here for the very long haul.
Farming cashmere offers you the chance of better returns from your farm, and you can make very positive progress in a short time by crossing with the right bloodlines. It's also worth remembering that the philosophy of cashmere farming is the same as for any New Zealand farming type. You just change the stock, not the structure of your property. So if you're thinking of farming goats, talk to Cashmere Pacific. There's lots of ways they can help you to produce quality cashmere, the fibre for our future.